Ricky is in San Angelo, Texas. Hi, Ricky. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I've been listening to your podcast, or really on the radio for the last 3 months or so, and I'm trying to get my wife on board. You know, after doing our taxes and looking at what we make and what we don't have in the bank, I kind of want to change how we're doing things in the future. So I just wanted your advice or a little bit of help on how to get her on board. She's just hesitant, or pretty hesitant about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's she hesitant about?
Well, really, she thinks we can't do the program. She thinks it's just something that, you know, is unrealistic as far as living that way and cutting back and budgeting and that type of thing. She just thinks it's unrealistic, really. That's one of the things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's your household income?
We make about $160,000.
Okay.
Bye.
And so it's unrealistic to live on less than $160,000?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. But, you know, I've explained it and gone over, hey, you know, I listen to this. This is what I want to do. I want to change our, you know, future-wise. And a lot of the debt that we have is mine under student loans. And, you know, we both have credit card debt and 2 vehicles and that type of thing. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you make $160,000 a year and you're broke, and that's okay.
Right.
And that's okay.
Well, I mean, you know, we live how we're living now as far as not a big savings and that type of thing. And
yeah,
I try
that's
to
what I mean.
You know,
You're
go over
broke.
numbers. Yes, sir.
You look good on the outside, but when we look behind the door, there's nothing there.
Right.
Yeah. Which makes you kind of normal. I mean, most people, they got 2 nice cars, a student loan that's been around so long they think it's a pet, and a house, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, and they're just, all their money comes in, all their money goes out, and they think, well, this is it. This is all there is. We're just a rat in a wheel.
Right.
That's what most people
trying
think.
To stop the wheel.
Yeah, that's what most people
right.
think. So it's a facade, though, and it's a lie. So, okay, I don't know. I can't tell what's going on here. Did you go at her hard, throwing the Dave Ramsey thing around? We got to do this, all enthused, and so she's backing off because you came at her so hard?
I wasn't trying to do a hard sell. I just was trying to say, hey, you know, I think it's a good program for us. I think we can do it. And, you know, I'm enthusiastic about it because like I said, I listen to you every day. But I want to get started on it. I'm just trying to get her on board because I know, like you said, I don't want to do the ish. So I don't want to do it, just me trying to do it on my own. So.
Okay. Well, I think you need to dig in a little bit and find out what's really going on. I can't put my finger on it with what you're saying. You've got to find out what her real objection is. Because if her objection is truly that that you're stuck and that you can't succeed making $160,000 a year, honestly, that's just weird.
Right.
I mean, that's strange.
Okay.
If you made $16,000 a year, I could understand how you felt stuck. But $160,000, my gosh, I mean, you know, you're in the top 1%, 1.5% of income earners in America. And so you're doing great income-wise, but you're just horrible managers of it.
Yep.
So maybe it starts with a dream discussion like Chris Hogan talks about. And you just say, okay, let's dream about where we could go in the future if we got our crap together. You know, let's dream about what it would be like to be worth several $1 million. Let's look at that. If we had money, what would you want to do? Would you want a bigger house? Would you want to travel? Would you want a better car? And then, you know, then you go, okay, well, you know, let's look at what it takes to get there because it's actually doable with our income.
Right.
And
I hear it all the time. You know, when you're talking about it, or I hear other people come on. You know, they're making significantly less, and they're paying off their debts. And I'm looking at it like, man, I want to be in that group. So.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But the point is, you don't want to pay off debt just to pay off debt. You want to pay off debt so that you get to do other stuff, right? It's the so that I'm talking about. And maybe you started a lot of times with guys, we go in and start telling people what to do, what we're going to do, instead of why. And you might want to talk to her more about the why.
Okay.
Like the dreaming in HD and high definition. And so if she says, I'd like to travel more, then let's, you know, get on some websites and start downloading some color pictures of what that looks like.
Okay.
Well, you know, where are we going to go? Are we going to be sitting in one of those funny little boats riding through Venice? You know, I want to write that down. I want that on the wall, right? And that can happen, but we've got to, you know, we're going to have to be, it's not going to accidentally happen. There is no Lone Ranger that is coming to save the day. We are it. And so once you establish and you get excited about dreaming again, how long have y'all been married?
We've been married for 13 years, Dave.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, once you get excited about dreaming again, like you were an 18-year-old kid or something, you know, and you go, man, I could do anything. You remember those days? And
Yeah,
you get to thinking like that again, then it makes it worth it to make the moves and the sacrifices to do something with your life. But hopefully you don't you can have a created emotional crisis that you create for yourself, that the two of you create for yourself, where you artificially look at this and go, hey, everything's kind of going good, but you know what? It still sucks.
Right.
And I'm not living like this anymore. And that's a created crisis. You're not in foreclosure or repossession or collections. You haven't lost a job. You're not about to go bankrupt. You don't have a real crisis. You've got a worse problem, is that you're mediocre and okay with it. Right. You can get stuck in that more than you can get stuck in a crisis, because at least in a crisis, you know things suck. Right. You know, and so you've got to create an emotional crisis out of this. But I think the way to do that is to look into the future and see in HD, in high definition. You know, I remember the first time I saw an HD TV, man, it blew my mind, because I grew up in a, you know, with black and white TV with the little rabbit ear things on top with 3 channels. And man, when you know, and then it got better. We got flat screens. I got a plasma, right? Remember those? And then I got an LCD. And then, man, I walk in, and you can almost smell smells from that HD. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? And that's how you've got to look at your dream. It can't be like this distant, vague thing. Detail out what it is. I want a bigger house. Okay, what's the house got in it? How many bedrooms? How many square feet? How many fireplaces? What's the kitchen got in it that our kitchen doesn't have? What color is it? What's the style of architecture? Detail it out. You may never build that house, but when you build it in your mind, it gives you something to sacrifice for. Discipline is not a natural human event. It is the emotional maturity to delay pleasure for a greater good. That's what discipline is. It means you're a grown-up. I'm going to back away from the cookies because I'm tired of looking at this gut. Okay? And so that it is an emotional thing. I'm not going to live, thank God it's Friday, to, oh God, it's Monday the rest of my life. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but it yields a harvest of righteousness, the Bible says. So nobody likes it, but we like what it takes us to. I saw a bumper sticker the other day I thought was pretty good. It said, nothing tastes as good as it feels to be thin. And I thought, I'd like to experience that someday. But anyway, back away from the cookies, Dave. Right? You know, this is my internal tapes, right? So chocolate chip cookies are my downfall. But yeah, my mouth is watering. That's awful. Anyway, yeah, see, that's how discipline works, though. You got to have a greater good that you're reaching for. Otherwise, it makes no sense. It's not logical to sacrifice in the moment unless it's for something. And the for something, the so that, the why is what matters here. It's a great discussion, man. Thanks for calling in.